Now you have the awareness. What you choose to do with that awareness, it's up to you. Now that you know the truth, you can't vouch for your narcissist ex anymore. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to PsychopathEXposure. My name is Kita, and here in this YouTube channel, we talk about narcissists. We break down toxic relationships with psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, borderlines, people with borderline personality disorder, or sometimes even alcoholism. Any type of dysfunctional relationship that you know something is so wrong that you were inspired to go on YouTube to look for answers. Been running this channel for quite a while some time, and we've grown as a community. I want to thank everyone that has still been keeping up with the videos and sharing your stories, your success stories, your funny stories, and even your horror stories. But here in PsychopathEXposure, we break things down, and I personally like to read some comments when I make videos from time to time, sometimes all the time. I haven't done it lately, but I'm gonna do it today because this comment was kind of funny. Comes from somebody whose username, Chris Gaddy. And he says, the narc recently reached out to me via email. She can't do it via cell phone because I changed my number. She's also blocked on social media. Good. Anyway, the subject read, Happy Holidays. So this is an old comment, obviously. The email, though nothing but her thanking me for keeping her stuff, and as soon as she gets her taxes back, she's going to send for her things. Then it ends with, thanks again. Take care. I knew it was a bunch of BS. She's left stuff before that I had to get rid of. This time was no different, except it would be the last time. Her shit was removed months ago. I will let her think I still have it, and if she sends money, that shit's going in my pocket. Call it payment towards the Empath Trust Fund. All right, thanks for sending that in. You know, a lot of survivors of narcissist abuse, or people in general that get out of toxic relationships or abusive relationships, they're still bonded, trauma bonded to their abuser. They still defend their ex, and they move mountains to ensure that they do everything possible to make that abusive ex happy. Even at the extent of going out of their way to ship their things back, things that they left behind, even when the narcissist themselves didn't return your stuff. I remember when the psychopath, my psychopath ex, and I agreed to meet up to exchange things. This was before I knew she was a psychopath. This is before I knew what narcissist personality disorder was. This is just when I knew that she was a lying, cheating demon from hell, and she had all my stuff and I had her stuff, and we met up to exchange things. And I brought a box, and I rolled that box in a cart for like, I don't know how many blocks, because we agreed to meet at some spot that had like a restaurant or something like that. And after I hauled my stuff and we got there, she's like, oh, I forgot to bring your stuff. I was like, you gotta be kidding. Like, I wish that would have happened now, like knowing what I know now, but I'm still happy that at the time, I was, oh, really? Okay. And I turned the fuck around and go, well, we're obviously not gonna have dinner now. That's not gonna happen. And I rolled my shit back to the car, and we had a final conversation, which was her gaslighting, changing the story, BS, and me like a sucker fell for it. Because I still didn't know what I was dealing with. But yeah, they don't give you back your shit sometimes. So I'm glad to hear that this survivor, he's gonna pretend that he still has her shit, and if and when she sends money, and be inclined to know if you're watching what happened with that story, because this was a pretty old comment. I don't even know how I came across it, but I think someone replied to it. That's what happened. So I would like to know what happened, but I'm glad. I'm glad you're taking a stand and you're not going to go and move mountains for her anymore. I'm glad you're doing that, because if she left her shit and didn't come for it after all this time, and if she cheated on you, and if she caused all sorts of problems and narcissistic trauma in your life, then you know what? All bets are off. Oh well. I'm sure it wasn't that important what she left behind, otherwise she would have come to get it. Now, I'm not encouraging everyone to just go and start destroying the narcissist's personal property. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But you know what? Sometimes they leave their sweaters, they leave some shoes, they leave, stupid shit. And it's like that stuff is taking up space in your closet. That stuff has their bad energy. It has their bad energy attached to it. And you're looking at it and you're trying to get over them, but obviously, narcissistic abuse is beyond getting over your ex. It's healing from the trauma itself. It's understanding that you've been scammed. It's overcoming the anxiety, the panic attacks, the dread of getting up in the morning, something that nobody ever feels when they just go through a normal breakup. Sure, we go through heartaches, broken heart, you miss the person, but not this psychological destruction that a survivor, and I like to say survivor, even though at the beginning we're all victims, later, we become a survivor. And then you become a warrior, and you fight back. And fighting back doesn't mean going after them in general, it's fighting back with whatever life throws at you. And you conquer shit, and you get stronger, and you take on more challenges, and you continue conquering shit. And eventually you conquer yourself. And you become the greatest version of yourself. And you continue doing difficult things. And life rewards you. And it rewards you in a way that you would have never even dreamed of. Because if you can survive narcissistic abuse, if you can survive a toxic relationship with a psychopath or a sociopath, nothing can stop you. There's nothing else that can happen or that life can throw at you that you can't handle. Because in my opinion, this is by far one of the worst situations anyone can face. I've had clients, because I have a coaching program, and I've had clients, survivors, that tell me, Kira, they've faced loss, death in their families. They've been victims of violent crimes, miscarriages, which is very, very traumatizing for women. And they all tell me, and yet I can't get over the narc. I can't get over the trauma bond from the narcissist. It still looms over me, bigger than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And I've had some people that have had really rough upbringing since they were children, and have lost their parents, and have ended up in all sorts of difficult situations that I don't even know if I would have been able to handle that. And they've persevered. And yet the narcissist entanglement, no matter how long or short-lived it was, seems to loom large in their conscious, in their psyche. So do not feel bad, and do not judge yourself if you've been watching these videos for over a year or maybe 2 years now and you're still struggling. Because this type of nightmare takes a long time to overcome, especially if you're not doing the work. If you're not doing the work to get better, and you're just carrying on your life droopy, you don't want to get up, you don't want to do shit because you're not motivated, you're waiting for motivation to happen, and it's going to take you longer. It's going to take you longer. But do not doubt, it still takes a while, because your mind was warped when you got entangled with these people. You had never seen anything like this before. Sure, you've dealt with assholes, you've dealt with jerks, You've dealt with manipulative people. You've dealt with users. And yeah, narcissists are all of that, aren't they? But you hadn't actually dealt with somebody that was a full-blown psycho, full-blown narcissist. And that's a little different. Because they're not just assholes. They're narcissists. And they feel no empathy. And they're able to block you out. And they're able to disconnect. And they don't care if you're suffering or crying. At that point, they think you're weak. And they're going to abuse you even more. Oh, but Kira, but she used to tell me all these things. And she told me I was her soulmate. And she made me feel like no other. I was married for all these years. And that didn't work out. And I met this girl. And all of a sudden, it's like I was the happiest I had ever been in my life for 3 months. Sometimes for 3 weeks. And then the mask came off. And you can't get over them. Okay? It's like going to a strip club, which I don't do because I hate strip clubs, but a lot of men do. And they fall in love with the stripper. And it's like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like, it's a job. She's doing that job to everybody that came before you and everyone that's coming after you. You can't fall in love with somebody like that. Okay, so then we look at the narcissist situation. We got scammed. We didn't know they were a snake. But once you understand that they're a snake, once you understand, once the rug has been pulled from underneath you and you got fucked and now you look at the situation, it's like, holy shit, this is what it is. Wow, everything you're saying resonates because that was exactly my relationship. Now that you've seen the videos and you've read the books and you're getting educated on it, you have to let go of that false idea that you had of who your girlfriend or boyfriend was. That's no longer valid. Now you know the truth. Now you know the truth. And I know it's not easy. The cognitive dissonance starts to pull you in opposite directions. But now that you know, you're no longer a victim. Now you have the awareness. What you choose to do with that awareness, it's up to you. Now that you know the truth, you can't vouch for your narcissist ex anymore. You can't continue the back and forth. You can't continue getting back with them. I read comments sometimes and it really makes me sad because you see they're commenting like, that's exactly what's going on. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then at the end of the comment, and I'm still with them and I took them back again and I don't know what I'm doing or why am I here, but I did it again. And I know, I get it. I was there. I took them back. But I also didn't know what I was dealing with. I thought maybe I was the problem. I thought maybe, hey, let's not be jealous. Let's not be that guy that accuses, let's not start accusing them of cheating even though the writing was on the wall. And it's exactly what was happening. Exactly what was happening. She even admitted it at the end. It's exactly what was happening. Once that information has been exposed and you take the narcissist back, you give them another chance, you buy into their BS, now that's on you, right? That's on you, which means you have the option of making another choice as well because you made that choice. Knowing what you knew, you still made that choice. So rest assured that 1 minute from now, you can change your mind and make a better choice. Perhaps leaving the situation, that might be a better choice. I know it's scary, but what's scarier is wasting another minute with a psychopath, with a narcissist, and think that they are a loyal, trustworthy, loving, romantic partner. And drinking the Kool-Aid, even though they've shown you that they're feeding you poison, you still take their word and you still drink the poison and you think it's Kool-Aid. And you shouldn't be drinking Kool-Aid because that's full of sugar and it's not good for you. So imagine drinking poison. I don't even know if poison has sugar. I mean, does alcohol have sugar? I don't know. You shouldn't be drinking anything, just water. How did we get there? Anyway, I digress. Okay, so thanks for sending that in, buddy. I hope she sent you money and you pocket it. Hope you keep her blocked. Hope you never respond to her again. And I hope you burned her shit. Okay? Hope you burned her shit. You probably never got your stuff back either. I know what that feels like. That's okay. That's okay. Things can be replaced. But time cannot be replaced. So don't waste any more of your time because time is finite. If you're struggling with this, I have a coaching program where I can help you. We can work privately on Zoom, directly from your phone, from your car, wherever you feel safe. We can connect on Zoom. We can work through the challenges. If you need an exit strategy, if you're not understanding what's going on, if you need someone in your corner that has been through this dark hallway, because it is a dark hallway, but you got to keep walking because, you know, the door to paradise is straight ahead. It's just dark and it's scary and it's cold. But if you stand there, if you don't move, you're not getting out. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep moving forward. I know it's not easy. The blessing is that this information is freely available to everyone now. And yeah, there's a lot of misinformation too. And that's why you have to go deep. You have to go deep and say, hey, is this resonating with me? Is this really what I'm going through? Is this person really a narcissist? Are they actually a psychopath? Or do they just have a drug addiction? Or are they just alcoholics? Or do they just have anger issues, unprocessed trauma? Like what's really going on here? But do not doubt. Do not doubt. If there's abuse, if there is cheating and infidelity, if there's domestic violence, it doesn't matter whether they're psycho or not. I don't know about you, but no one signs up for a relationship to have to be dealing with those things. And that may be enough. And maybe some of the things you see in these videos sounds similar, and they're not even narcissists, but it doesn't matter. It's abusive. It's abusive and unforgivable, and you gotta go. And you gotta go. Right? So, that's it. That's really it. You gotta go. If there is abuse, you gotta go. Do not gaslight yourself. Do not try to convince yourself of something you already know. You already know what it is. You're only wasting time. You're gaslighting yourself. You already know what it is. Okay? So, if you have any more questions, any questions at all in regards to toxic relationships with psychopaths, with narcissists, if you feel that you're being gaslighted, sometimes by your own parents, by your boss, by friends, drop them in the comments below so I can read them on a video and the community can also answer your questions. Okay, you're not alone in this. This is something that's unfortunately, it seems like it's growing. It's growing. And when people get better, they don't take the time to come back and tell you, hey, remember when I was hopeless? Well, things got better and this is what I did. It's just like when you're reading online on WebMD or whatever because you have some sort of health crisis, some condition, and you're going down the internet forums and it seems everyone is screwed who has it. And it seems like there's no cure and there's no way out. But the people that actually heal, they don't take the time to go in there and tell you that, hey, I'm better. No. People only leave bad reviews, just like on Amazon. They leave bad reviews. The real reviews on Amazon are the negative reviews. The positive reviews are usually all fake, okay? Because people don't take the time. So I would appreciate if you guys have success stories. And I know it because I've worked with many of you. I know a lot of people in the comment section that I remember from 4 or 5 years ago. So if you have success stories, please share them so that people that are new to this situation, they can have the same hope that we wanted. Hope that we didn't know we existed, but we found it. Okay? So do that, please, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. Catch you in the next one.